Yeah, I think that because there is no clear line. I mean, there is no one who really wants free speech, unless they're extreme libertarians. I mean, on the right side, the IPA wouldn't want to hear free speech from ISIS or something like that. And usually the line is drawn around violence. But as you said, I think there tends to be a conflation now between offence and safety, and that seems to be the biggest problem.
Well, I think that's true, but of course the right are equally prone to get very upset if they're offended. Look, I think the reality is we are living, and I think it's very sad, but we are living in an increasingly polarised political environment. And in an increasingly polarised political environment, tempers flare and people become more sensitive. And I really regret that. I mean, I regret that we don't have more possibility of discussion across very entrenched positions. And it has often occurred to me that, you know, if you pick up on a Saturday morning, if you pick up the Australian and the Saturday paper, they are basically echo chambers of each other. They're equally unwilling to recognise that there may be limits to the positions they hold.
Well, I suppose that they're also playing to an audience as well, so they know what sells to a particular audience.
Look, I'm not sure about that. Certainly that's truer. You know, the examples I use is truer of the Saturday paper because it's not, after all, the mass media. But if you look at the mass Murdoch press, which is, you know, the Herald Sun or the Daily Telegraph, which I tend to read in cafes a lot because I'm curious what people are reading, what strikes me is most people aren't reading the political. They're reading the sport, they're looking at the TV guides. Sometimes, like me, they might do the crossword. I think a lot of the political stuff is not why they buy the papers. The political stuff is, in fact, increasingly, I think, something that is read only by people who already have strong views. And unfortunately, the media, perhaps some exceptions with the Fairfax Press and the ABC, both of which I think really do try, you know, some sort of what they would call balance. But I think increasingly people, unfortunately, are exposed to media that agrees with what they believed in the first place.
Well, I think that you're almost always at danger of falling into groupthink in terms of the people that surround you. I think it's so incredibly powerful. And I think that's what people tend to acquiesce to. You know, you can see it in terms of people talking to their communities in terms of following, like social media followings. People are very quick to change their view on something if the people in their following find it to be something that they don't particularly like. It's very hard to stand against the crowd, isn't it?
Well, that, of course, has always been true, but I think you're right. I don't know if it's more true because of social media or we're more aware of it, but certainly it's much faster, isn't it? I mean,
yes.
People now are exposed instantly to views, and there's pressure to instantly like or dislike or tick or not tick or sign up or all those things. And, I mean, this is not probably the place to have a long discussion about how one deals with that. I don't think any of us really do know how one deals with it, because I think it has changed enormously the possibilities of political discussion. And I mean, I have ambivalent feelings because I think they're both advantages and disadvantages to the way it works.